What's up, what's up? Welcome everyone to theStreamTV's Big Brother 17 After Show. We are excited, we have a lot to talk about. I am your host, Kevin Zelman. Joining me is Ashley Ioko.
Hello.
Jen Johnson.
Hello.
And Ryan Hooks.
Hey guys, welcome.
What's up? We also have a really special guest. We have the winner of Big Brother 15, Andy Herren, on Skype with us right now. Andy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Of course. How's it all going since winning Big Brother a few years ago?
Oh, it is going very well. I don't know, not too much has changed. I came back to Chicago. I'm still teaching. I don't know, I went to Australia.
Nice.
That was like my big thing that I did. Other than that, like not too much is that different. I mean, I have a lot more money, but that's about it. So.
Good for you. I'm glad you still kept teaching.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So tell us your thoughts on Big Brother this season so far. Who are your favorites? Who didn't you like? Any surprising moves?
I think that this season has been absolutely thrilling. I thought that, like, no offense to last season. I think last season had some good players, but I thought last season was just really, really boring. It wasn't fun to watch. And I feel like this season has had much more drama and much more fun going on in it. And so I have been absolutely thrilled watching this season, and especially like after playing the game and seeing like going into a live eviction, for example. We've had several this season where we haven't known who's going to go home, and I think that is so exciting, you know? I feel like we've had a lot of people that came to play and came like guns blazing, and I think that always makes for good TV. And I think this is one of the best casts that the show has had in a while.
I was actually thinking this week, I don't think, tell me if I'm wrong, when someone won a POV, they didn't take someone else off the block for HOH to put someone else on. I kind of missed that this season.
No one ever did?
I don't think so.
Like in terms of
Like, let's say, like,
Right, they
you know what I mean?
save
like, no one
somebody.
took someone else off the block for HOH to put someone else on
to
the
save
block.
their alliance and screw up what the HOH
Okay.
did.
Right.
Right, okay,
Just for
yeah.
themselves.
I kind of missed that this season. But who are some of your favorites this season?
Okay, so I just because of I feel like I latched onto her kind of early, and like I just had this little niche love for her that no one else really shared. I loved Becky all season just because I thought she was so ridiculous, like with her train story. And
I saw your tweets about him. Oh, I know.
If you watch the live feeds, like there were so not only was she hit in the face by a train, details that other people people don't know are that there were llamas on the train that while she was laying on the ground after being hit by the train, the llamas were spitting on her, which is just so ridiculous.
What?
She also told the story of how she was driving in a car and a bat flew in the window and hit her in the face.
What?
She was at an amusement park and someone dropped a coin out of their wallet like while they were on a ride and it hit her in the head. Just like all this stuff made me have this weird love for Becky.
That's so dangerous. The coin thing?
So intense.
I think it's so funny to look back to, and like Becky was the only person all season who was just like, everyone, we must get Vanessa out. Like, Vanessa is trouble. I don't trust her at all, and no one would listen to her. And now look where that got everybody, you know?
Right.
Now they're all in the jury house talking
yeah.
about how they should have got Vanessa out.
Yeah.
Exactly. Of course I really liked Johnny Mac, like everybody else did. He was so endearing. I liked Meg and James a lot. I thought they were adorable together. I wish that they would have played the game harder because they kind of laid around together all the time and didn't make a lot of other relationships. Oh my God, I loved Shelly. I honestly think if Shelly would have survived that eviction, she would have lasted for a long time and she could be in the end now. Like, I think Shelly was a really good player, and I think she got sidelined by her showmance with Clay.
Right.
I totally agree. I think, same with you, I think she could have been in the game for a lot longer than what she actually was. She's a really good player.
I thought she was great.
So without any spoilers of what's happened so far this week for the finale, who do you think could win Big Brother? Okay,
so yeah, I won't say anything. I know who won part one, but yet again, I'll be quiet. Like, I mean, of course, Vanessa is the front runner. Vanessa has played, here's the weird thing about Vanessa. Like, my season and last season, I feel like Derek and I were in the driver's seat, but like no one knew that we were. You know, they'd be out the door and they'd be like, oh, they got me, you know? But this season, everyone knows that Vanessa is in the driver's seat and she's still there, which I think is like miraculous. It's crazy. And so, I mean, she's got this weird knack for just talking people in circles and circles and circles, and then she like confuses them and then they keep her. And so I think if Vanessa makes it to the end, no matter who she is sitting against, I think she should win. But with that being said, I think I think Liz will take Vanessa, which I think shows like why Liz should not win the show. But I think Steve, if he wins the final 3 HOH, I think he will cut Vanessa, and I think that would be super thrilling. And if he does that, I think that Steve should beat Liz.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do you think even though you thought the season was so riveting, do you kind of feel like it was predictable at times?
Like, yes and no. I mean, I feel like I said before, like the fact that we went into several live evictions not knowing who was going to go makes it kind of unpredictable. Like last season, I feel like every week they would determine who was going to go home, and that person would be like, yep, I guess it's my time. And it was so dull. And this season, I feel like there was campaigning and flip-flopping and switching up until the last minute. So I would actually say this season wasn't that predictable.
I guess because we just all predicted that Vanessa was going to win, and she's probably going to win.
Yeah, no, that is true. But like, I also think that her path to winning has been kind of like fascinating, like I said, because everybody is onto her and they know that they should get rid of her, but she wins when she needs to, and she makes deals when she needs to, and she confuses people when she needs to. And so it's been kind of riveting.
I compared her game to Derek's game, but just Vanessa talked way more than Derek did.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Do you think with Vanessa and the game that she's been playing, the confusion, do you think people are also like intimidated by Vanessa and scared of her? Because she's really intense.
She is. Like the fact that Vanessa will walk right up to you and confront you about something, which is so scary. Like I was like, I basically played my game so that would never happen to me because I was so scared of being confronted. And so, man, like if someone would have just come up to me and point blank pulled a Vanessa on me, I would have been super intimidated by it. And so more power to her for being able to do it and get away with it, you know?
Absolutely.
So was there an HOH competition that you were surprised that someone won that you didn't expect to win?
I'm trying to think, like, not really. Like, I feel like you could count out people like Meg, like, she was never going to win. But I feel like the stronger people won the stronger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Becky won endurance competitions, James won endurance competitions. Like, those are the people that you kind of expect to win them because they're strong. And, like, James was in the Army. Becky's a camper and a hiker.
There wasn't that many crapshoots this season.
Yeah, and I feel like, with a crapshoot, you know what I'm saying? You can't really predict anybody, so... Yeah. I feel like I wasn't too shocked with anybody who won the season, I guess.
Yeah, the only one that I thought was weird was when they did the boomerang ball, where they rolled the ball around the boomerang.
Yeah.
When Julie and Liz won those two, and that was when the game was getting kind of boring because it was slowing down and like they were controlling it, and then it's flipped, so it's cool that happened.
Yeah, well, and with that one, I was just like, damn it, James, because he was like, of course, everyone wanted James to win that, and he went last. And I feel like with crapshoots like that, there actually is an advantage going last. Like, you get to watch everybody. And so I was irritated that James couldn't figure it out. Like he should have been able to do a little bit better.
That I totally agree with. I totally agree. Is there anything?
Talk about the show.
You what?
Let's talk about the show. I'm ready to talk about this episode.
All right, Andy. So we're going to be right back with you to answer some Twitter and YouTube questions. That's okay with you.
Sounds good. Andy.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right, guys. So let's get to it because there's a hell of a lot to talk about. So. She's in it to win it. Vanessa won the first HOH of the week, which we're all on the couch once again. We were very excited for. We're all rooting for Vanessa. Am I wrong?
I am. I'm not going to say I'm rooting for her.
Well, okay.
But I think she's going to win.
Yeah. So who are you rooting for?
I guess Steve.
Yeah?
At this point, yeah.
I'm down for Steve. No, I think I liked him in the beginning, too. I don't know. I liked Steve, Johnny Mac, and Vanessa. Steve. And Vanessa I thought would win,
Yeah. So the HOH competition, it was... the eggs and the gates and the fingers through and
how were their fingers not bleeding?
They were.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, didn't you see Johnny Max? It was all ugh.
So like I watch a lot of reality TV shows, especially these competition ones, and I think a lot of times with the production end, some of these challenges are geared towards certain people. Like, and I think they want certain things to happen. So like for me, this challenge was Vanessa or Johnny Max to win immediately because
I immediately thought Johnny Max.
Austin's hands were too big to get through those little chicken wire holes. And Liz's hands are too small to hold the egg through the chicken wire hand. So really, it was just like, almost to me seemed sort of set up so that one of those two would win. And either way, it was making for a good game.
So you truly feel that CBS or Big Brother, they tailor the competitions the order that they do? Because they did that in Andy's season. They did
I feel like sometimes the timing just seems perfect to set up for Vanessa or Johnny Mac to win. Because, had they done a competition that's endurance-based, that would have been more of an Austin or Liz win, and it would have changed the entire dynamic of how the game played out.
I agree. I don't think it's any shocker that reality TV isn't actually reality TV.
Well, I had had this issue for many years, back in the past, and they said that they have all the games lined out for the whole season at the beginning of the season, legally. Yeah, but who knows if that's the truth? But they say that.
But that doesn't mean they don't change them a little. Maybe here's all the challenges we're doing. but we're going to do this one this week instead of this one.
No, they said it's lined out all
Is
the
it?
weeks. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
true.
they tell us that they're like,
Yeah.
okay, guys, this is going to be a long season. This is a marathon, not a race.
Not a sprint.
Not a sprint. And that's what they say. So who knows? Maybe they're lying.
So the whole HOH competition was really close between Austin, Johnny Mac, and Vanessa. And as we said, Vanessa ultimately won. And Liz, since she knew she was trailing way behind, she took the bonus
luxury
prize, the
plug.
luxury
Yeah.
prize. And
Yep.
Frankie Grande came back in the house. And Liz chose Vanessa to go with Frankie to an Ariana Grande concert. And they got dressed up so no one recognized them. They had these crazy wigs on. And I follow Frankie on Instagram. And I saw a picture of it. And I saw a comment saying, wow, that girl looks a lot like Julia. And I didn't think twice about it, thinking that could be the luxury prize, but that person was smart on Instagram.
Wow.
Does anyone else have a problem with the whole luxury prize?
I
And,
thought it defeated the purpose
the
of the
shameless
game.
plug of Ariana Grande and Frankie Grande, and
Well,
I don't know.
not only that, but isn't the purpose of the game to not have any contact with the outside
Well,
world?
you could tell
They've
they were.
done that in the past.
Well,
though.
yeah,
they
did
did
your
my
season.
season.
They had it
did.
my season too.
They did
Yeah.
last season too, where
Yeah,
they
they
went
have
to
it like
the Cowboys.
one time.
Oh, that's right.
They went to the
Yeah,
Cowboys
they
training
always
camp.
do that one time. Like, no, I mean, most seasons.
Yeah.
But I feel like it'd be risky to have Frankie Grande and that many people being able to talk to him about it. Even if they don't know it's them, people could still be talking about it. They could still see stuff
Totally.
that's related to the game.
You saw how early they got there. There was no one at the arena, so there was definitely no one there when they got there. And then they were in a private box. It
Yeah,
was just the
that's
three
true.
of them. So even when they were taking pictures, you could tell there was no one else.
It looked like there was
around
people
them.
in that box. You didn't think anybody.
I mean, the
was in that box?
boxes each hold 10 to 15 people.
Yeah.
I think they had a private box for just the three of them, and maybe they might even have pulled Frankie out of there at some point so that
Yeah.
he didn't talk to them.
Yeah, that's
Or if there was
true.
people there, they might have been production people saying, "Don't talk, don't tweet, don't
That's
nothing."
just probably production that I saw.
Yeah,
But yeah, so maybe I guess we could ask
Yeah.
later.
it's a question to find out.
Okay, so the Power of Veto competition, it was the Life in Pieces puzzle. Life in Pieces puzzle, which, did they want to plug that a little more?
Yeah.
The new show? Yeah, it was a little much. But
That's different though, because that's shamelessly plugging CBS.
Yeah.
And their shows, and that's where they make money to put on Big Brother.
Totally.
Yeah, just like
So-
they put us on on the Bold and the Beautiful.
Yeah.
They call, that's a thing.
But so Vanessa was eliminated first from the competition because she forgot to run back and click her buzzer before her 20 seconds ran out, which I was upset about.
Yeah, it was a shame.
Yeah, so Johnny Mac ended up winning, yes.
I was gonna say you forgot to mention that Johnny Mac and Steve were on the block.
Yes, I didn't even say who.
Yeah,
was
because
nominated.
Vanessa won HOH and put Steve and Johnny Mac up.
Yeah, so Steve and Johnny Mac were on the block. Johnny Mac won the POV and took himself off the block, which ended up putting Liz on the block. But before we get there, so Johnny Mac told Liz and Austin that he's going to take them to the final three, and then he votes to evict Austin because Austin was the replacement nominee.
Yes.
Did we think that was a fair move, or was that risky if Austin were to stay and he found out?
I think that Johnny Mac was covering his bases before the actual POV happened, because he was saying, "Hey, maybe I'll throw the POV, maybe I won't." If he would have lost the POV, he was in a good spot to say, "Hey, listen, I'll take you," and could have possibly stayed. So I think it was a smart move by him to say that to them, whether he was going to do it or not.
So it was Austin versus Liz on the block, which, I mean, I don't really like either of them. So it was kind of sad to see both of them on the block, like how I literally cannot talk.
Clelly.
How Clelly were on the block together. So the vote was tied. Johnny Mac evicted Austin. Liz evicts Steve, which, as we could have predicted. And then so Vanessa had the tying vote, and she voted to evict Austin, which Austin was very upset about.
Oh my God. That was a shocker to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he had no idea.
And he was telling Vanessa that you can't win any of the votes in jury, you can't do any of this stuff. And Vanessa's like, I know, but I had to do it for my game. Do you think it's actually true? Do you think it's going to be the year of the bitter jury?
No, you
No.
can tell by the jury. They're all saying that Vanessa should win.
Just Austin. He's the only one
he's
that's
the
voted.
only.
That's
he's
what I
the only.
thought.
But the thing that I could see happening is that if Vanessa were at the end to take Steve and not Liz, I think that Liz, Julia, and Austin would vote for Steve because it's a quick bitter, you know? Because when you get over it, in the jury house for so long, you can get over it. But when it's that fast, you're you can't.
You're
There's only been a
so
week.
right, because
Yeah.
it's so quick. And
It's only an hour.
And they're in
not even.
sequester. That last person, or the fourth person, goes to sequester.
No, Austin's in the jury.
No, he's talking about Johnny Mac. And
Oh, Johnny
Johnny
Mac.
Mac.
Describe sequester for everyone who doesn't know.
Okay, sequester is the hotel room that they'll put you in right before finale. So they take everyone out of jury house for the week before.
The
And-
week?
Yeah, we were in a.
Shut up.
We
They
were in
only
a
did it one day.
No way. We were in a hotel room for a whole week.
Oh.
And that's the same thing that they do before the season. They take all the
Yeah.
contestants, they take all the technology from them, and they lock them in a hotel room for a week, so they can't watch TV and they can't like communicate very often with people without production's assistance, and so
Yeah.
that way they can't like learn
All right,
anything
well,
about who's playing the game.
Wow. I love hearing
So
about
people
that.
to know. Yeah.
People
Yeah,
don't
no, I
know
love
that
hearing-
already?
No, I had no idea.
Stop.
I had no idea.
And they do that on all the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have alternates in there because guy went crazy, and they had to replace him with Joe.
Really?
Yeah, on my season because he couldn't get a 6-pack of beer, and he was very mad about it. So he got evicted before he got
wow.
in the house.
Oh, wow. All right, so when Austin came out to see Julie after he was evicted, I was kind of surprised about this. We talked about this last week. There weren't any boos for Austin, which I definitely thought we would hear a few of them. Did you guys?
Yeah,
I don't
played a
know.
decent
Booze
game.
in the audience.
Do
It'd be
you-
weird to like
do
be in
you-
the audience and
Who
boo.
booed?
Christina was
that's
booed
what it
last
was.
season.
Oh, well,
Christine,
because
yeah.
she like
Or
was like
Christine.
seemed like she was like
'Cause she's
cheating
married.
and married, and it was awkward.
He cheated on his girlfriend and broke up with her on live TV.
Yeah, I guess so. But like Austin like kind of downplayed that and like acted like he didn't really have a girlfriend and they were on the rocks and like all that stuff. And so maybe everyone was just over it.
Could be.
Possibly. Do you think it was the right choice to get rid of Austin over Liz?
Yes and
Yeah.
no, because based on the next competitions, I think it's smart to evict Austin if it was like an endurance comp, but Liz has been winning a hell of a lot more than Austin has.
Isn't usually
So-
the last one an endurance comp almost always going into the final? It's always been like
Yeah.
in the last few
Or
seasons,
the first part is always
like a
endurance.
super long endurance comp and then a
Yeah.
mental comp right after.
No, then it's like another endurance comp. It's like two endurance comps and then like a question comp with the with the
false,
jury.
right?
I think it wasn't last season they had to step into like the true or false blocks
Yeah.
and they had it all blocked off. All right, so I want to remind everyone to tweet with hashtag BB17AS and comment in the YouTube section if you're watching on YouTube because we're about to talk about the second eviction of the week because I was excited for this one. We had the POV, an HOH, and another eviction. So the next competition, I thought it had Steve written all over it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it came down to Johnny Mac and Steve, and they were tied, and Steve actually won by forgetting to put a 0 for how many seconds the Egg Gate HOH competition went for. Which
Yeah.
he was shocked, which I thought was so cool to see. He was so excited about it.
I was confused. I had to go back and watch it. I was like, wait, didn't he win? And then I was like, oh, it's without going over. Was
Yeah.
the kicker was without going over because Johnny Mac went over.
Yeah.
So
That's how most of the time people, and I remember like everyone was pissed at my season. I won HOH because I put like 9 gallons were good hold or something, and like everyone else put like 1,000, and like they all went over, and I like put 9.
That's how you win. It's like Price is Right.
Yeah, Price is
$1,
right.
$1.
$1.
So the Power of Veto for the second one this week, which is the final Power of Veto of the summer for Big Brother, which is really sad. Again, I thought I had Steve written all over it because he's a super fan and he knows what happened on every day in the house. So Beast Mode Cowboy came back, Caleb from last season. He was doing his ninja karate chops on everything.
He's so great.
And he came back to host, and in the POV, it came down to Johnny Mac and Vanessa. Steve wasn't even in the top 2, which I was kind of shocked about because he seems he really knows what's going on in the house. No?
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he's not as smart like that. That we like.
Or it was strategic. He didn't want to win, maybe, but he's on the block, so I don't know. But so Vanessa won the final Power of Veto. She was kicking it this week. Johnny Mac was evicted. America is sad about this. I mean, I feel like everyone's been mourning about this.
I
No?
think, yeah. And I'm honestly, like, I'm glad he stayed, but I'm surprised that he stayed this long in the game.
After being evicted
But a lot of
before.
times when you come back, if you make it past the first week, then you can kind of stick around. But I'm surprised they didn't vote him out sooner.
Yeah. So Johnny Mac was evicted by Vanessa, and when he was talking with Julie, he said that he wasn't surprised because if the roles were turned, he would have evicted Vanessa right away. So I thought, fair game. He understands it. Not gonna be a bitter juror. But he said he'd get Vanessa out if he got the chance, which I'm still voting for Vanessa, so I'm glad that didn't happen. You know?
Me too.
All right, guys. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have Twitter and YouTube questions for Andy. We want to hear from you, BB17AS. That's our hashtag on Twitter. We'll see you in a little bit.
Bye.
just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
That the more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them don't ahead, turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hello, welcome back.
Hey.
Thank you for continuing to stay with us. We wanted to talk really quickly about who we think might win America's favorite player. I think are we all
Yeah, we're
unanimous on this?
unanimous.
Johnny Mac.
Johnny Mac.
Johnny Mac, I have to agree. What's happening on Twitter and YouTube and everything?
Hey, so special shout out to all our friends who are watching us live right now. Enama, Joan Riviera, Jack Kendall, myself. Look at me, there's me commenting people. Hey, so what we got going on right now is one person commented, if Vanessa wins the game, do you think she's in the top 5 of who's going to win or like winners of all time?
Yeah,
Would you rank her up there with that in her game?
I would.
I have to agree. Actually, I want to hear Andy. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
What
So-
do you think?
Yeah, so where would you place Vanessa if she wins amongst other winners? Obviously right below you, right?
I think Vanessa and I played very, very, very different games. But I would put Vanessa towards the top. I mean, I think it is very crazy that she was kind of a target all summer and is still there. You know, I mean, I think that takes lots of work, and she was really good at what she did. I think that Vanessa, especially among women, I think Vanessa would be a top-tier female winner for sure. And I think better than a lot of the men.
Agreed.
Yes.
Do you think a lot of people are going to dislike Vanessa?
No. Why
I
would
think
they?
people, like, you know what? If people love the game, people should respect Vanessa. Like, Vanessa's gameplay, I don't think has been super likable, but at the same time, it's been effective. And so if you respect Big Brother and you like Big Brother, you should like Vanessa.
I think
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I said I feel like I dislike the players that are like letting her like keep going. Like, why are you letting her stay in the house? It's just like frustrating and annoying.
But, like,
who are these people?
That's what I'm saying. Why, like, I think it would be like if Steve gets rid of her, I think Steve is a very deserving winner. Because, like, I got that kind of flack all the time my season from people being like, why are you keeping Amanda around? And, like, I needed to keep Amanda around because Amanda was so aggressive and I was like the information gatherer. So I gave her all of her information and then she got what I wanted done for me. And then when she was of no use to me anymore, I got rid of her, you know? And I think Steve kept Vanessa around a little bit too long. I think he should have cut her a little bit before. But if he can still get that cut in before the finale, then I think he deserves to win.
I was going to say,
Go
Steve. I was going to say back to Vanessa's game. I think once people meet her outside of the house, if they have those opinions, I think they'll change. Because I met her before the show started, the season, and having talked with her and like knowing her personality a little bit, like outside of the game, I think a lot of the stuff we see that we don't like about her is strategy. She's intimidating people and she's really emotional, and people are scared of that.
Well, and like it's crazy because the live feeds, of course, you can watch us 24/7, but like I tell people like that wasn't me. You know, I mean, it was like partially me, of course, but it's like you did like in everyday life. I mean, my season, like a lot of controversial things were said and a lot of things that I didn't like were said. And like I just sat back and didn't say much because I didn't want to be a target. Like in everyday life, I'm not that person, you know? I mean, your house persona is different than how you are in everyday life. And I feel like people that love Big Brother shouldn't judge players until they see what they're like in the real world.
Amen, Andy.
Well, so Andy, so you say that, but then on your like Twitter and like all your things, like I feel like you're always like mean or like not like it's like I'm always like, what's going on? Like I'm me in real life and look at you, you're so nice, and then like
I'm super sarcastic. I feel like that's my thing. Like, and I feel like if you warm up to me after like a week, you realize that, and then like you realize that I'm never really meaning to be taken super seriously on social media. Like I just think that like so many Big Brother fans take everything so seriously, and I like to like poke fun at it and play with it like that. And so, I feel like I am a super nice, easygoing person, and my Twitter persona is definitely me, poking fun at all of this.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm always confused. I'm always like, oh, he seems like he's really mean.
No, obviously we know he's not. We love
right.
Andy.
So we got a couple more from Twitter here, or from YouTube. Do you think that Becky will be a bitter juror?
No. Even when Becky was evicted, she was just like, whoa, Vanessa got me. If I went back in, I'd work with her. Becky will not be bitter.
Who do you think would be a bitter juror?
I mean, hopefully Austin gets his bearings in order and is not bitter. I feel like Austin loves the game and he should respect the game and not be bitter. But I mean, so far, at least based on the jury questioning or what they've said in the jury house and what they've shown, Austin seems like he's the only bitter one. You know, I mean, Shelley was just like, hey, Vanessa played all of us, and everyone agreed with Shelley, and Austin was like, well, no, she played a flawed game, and this is why, and I feel like no one agreed with it.
Yeah, no, I happen to agree with you. Andy, thank you so much.
Oh, one more.
Wait,
we have more? Oh, yes,
we have more.
yes.
We have more.
I have a personal question.
Just kidding.
Sure.
When you went back to teaching, were the students asking you a lot of questions? Was it hard to get your job back? Because I know your season did have a lot of flack.
Yeah, it was interesting. I actually, I took a break. I didn't go back immediately to the college that I was at before because the semester already started. And so I think it was kind of good that I, had a few months without being there. You know what I'm saying? Just to, let everything cool down. But I did go back, and in all my sections, I feel like it was a weird mix. I mean, I didn't get one bit of negativity from anybody. But I feel like some sections I would have tons of students who knew who I was. Other ones I wouldn't. But then I actually got hired at a college. I got hired at Columbia College in Chicago to teach a class on reality television because of my time on Big Brother. So you know what I'm saying? My stint on Big Brother actually got me a job when I was out of here.
Very
so
cool.
That was really neat.
That's awesome.
Good.
So who do you think's gonna win America's favorite?
Johnny Mac, hands down. James will be second, and then I don't know who, because they always reveal a top three. It's going to be Johnny Mac and James. Who do you think will be three?
I thought it could be
Julia
Jason.
or Meg.
No.
I think it might be Meg or Jason. Or maybe even Shelley. I feel like people
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
I
definitely.
could see Shelley because Clay's probably pushing for one of them hard.
I agree.
Okay.
Any last minutes?
We're good. Let's hit up on
Awesome. Andy, thank you again so much for coming.
Andy, thank you.
Thanks so much for having me. Nice to see all you guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. All right, guys, so we're going to take it to Twitter now.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me get the mirror mode rolling.
While
I'm doing all this, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching us live. Thanks to Ask Morty TV, Hamster Watch, Joker's Updates,
Reality Wanted,
Online Big Brother,
all the people that support us. Are we there?
We're good to go.
Say Hamster
We
Watch.
appreciate everyone. #BB17AS as always on Twitter. We
hold
love
on.
them. We have a lot of fan questions. Andy, I thought he gave some pretty good information about the game, stuff that I don't think I've really thought about.
Yeah, I loved his input.
And I didn't really think about either. I was so dead set on Johnny Mac getting America's favorite that I didn't even think about James could be, because I know that so many people love James.
Yeah, James was a big character.
We got it? Okay, cool.
We're good on Twitter?
Where Twitter is
Awesome.
rocking technology. You know, we can't Skype and tweet at the same time. All right, so this first Twitter is really more of a comment, but I liked it because it's from Julie Chen. And she wants to know, if you had to play Big Brother with a family member, how do you think you would handle it?
Oh,
Talking
I
about
love
Liz and Julia.
That'd be the
What would
best.
you guys do in the
That'd
house?
be awesome.
Well, we're not even family members.
Well,
We
no,
actually
saying
could do it.
respectively, if you in the house had a family member and you in the house had a family member.
We have been trying to predict a Big Brother family season for the last 3 years. I kept thinking it's going to be the next year. Anyway, it'd be hard, but I'd love it.
Mm-hmm. Would you guys go into the house pretending you guys aren't related at all, and then have your own alliances and take yourselves to the top two?
I mean, if possible.
Yeah, it
Obviously, if
depends
you're
how they
twins, you
pitch
probably
it.
can't. My brothers don't look anything like me, so that could happen. But yeah, I mean, why would you have to reveal that?
I mean, if they know it's a family season coming in,
Well, yeah.
Right.
then I agree. I would probably try to have a secret thing on the back end that no one really knew about, but would play the game on my own. Because I feel like sometimes having people know you have people that you trust going in the game right away makes you a target.
Oh,
Clearly not
yeah.
this season with Liz, Austin, and Julia. So
They had the numbers.
Yeah, as
to
long as you
protect
have 3 people,
Yeah.
then you're good.
So we need triplets or something next season.
them. You need the numbers. All right. So this one's from Licorice 2. It says Steve will lose against Vanessa and Liz. Do you agree with that?
No.
No.
I don't know.
If Steve goes to the final 2 against Vanessa or against Liz,
I think it depends how it happens.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
Andy was saying, if Steve takes out Vanessa,
I think that
then
Vanessa
I
might
think
win.
he might have a better chance of winning.
You think? I think that if Vanessa picks Steve to go and over Julie or over whoever's Liz, I think that would be better.
I think Vanessa wins regardless of who she goes against at this point. But if Steve takes out Vanessa and goes against Liz, then he has a pretty good chance because he took out Vanessa.
He does have a
That's
good chance.
true.
And I think we're not giving Liz enough credit. She did win a lot of comps.
She was a great competitor.
Yeah.
She totally was.
Speaking of Vanessa and the credit that we give her, this one's from our good friend Ashley Ioko. Vanessa is the smartest player to ever play Big Brother, and she will win.
Yeah, she is. I think she's the smartest player to ever play Big Brother, and she will win.
I think we were talking this morning. What was like the second week we said we're going with Vanessa. She's gonna win this.
Yeah, I love it. You got my tweet on there.
We can pull, I lost the connection again, so we can pull it up and show you. There, is it up? Are we in? Are we back on? No,
we're over it.
We're over
we know
it.
about it though.
I know. I'm sorry. We lost the connection to the
oh, good.
the mirror mode.
I said it.
It happened. It's real.
Who do you think is a better player, her or Derek?
Vanessa.
No, Derek I think is better because he was like sly about it, not like overly annoying. Like he just like made the tight relationships with everyone, made him feel comfortable, but didn't like bombard them like all the time, 24/7.
I really like that about
like
Vanessa.
So
She's
stressful.
so
like she stressed out the whole season, everyone all season long. Like that's super annoying in my opinion.
Most importantly,
like
he
I
didn't
hate it.
cry every week.
Oh, and the crying.
Okay, that's true. That's.
All right. Okay. Cool. So this one is from Nicola Poe, BB Jace, if you will. It was so sick to watch my boy Team BB Caleb do backflips and chop wood in half. I'll see you soon, dude. Do you think that Caleb has been the best guest this season?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
sure.
awesome. Like he was like
100%.
professional.
He is
totally think
so
so.
Yeah, that was cool.
Better than
Caleb
Mr.
did good.
Spectacular?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yes.
Better than Zingbot 9000?
Yeah. Zingbot was so underwhelming.
All right. So this one is from Whitney is a Nerd. Austin is so confident that he was going to say that he wasn't even wearing shoes.
Yeah, well, he
was.
never wore any shoes during any evictions, did he? Or like
Really?
during the eviction night?
Really?
Every time I noticed, he was always
Oh,
barefoot.
I wanted us to go barefoot today and like just for fun, but
Just cause?
yeah, or today.
All right. So Taylor Bug 19 says, you're keeping Liz. Liz, have you all lost your mind? Question mark. Do you think that keeping Liz was a terrible idea? We talked about this a little bit before, but
I see why she did it because she didn't want Steve to take Johnny Mac or Johnny Mac to take Steve. Like she feels more comfortable that Steve and Vanessa will take her. I mean, Steve and Liz will take her. That's the only reason.
I mean, once again, I think Liz should have been out way long ago, so I don't even know why she's still in the game, but she's a great competitor. So Austin is too with endurance comp, so it was an either or.
Yeah.
Oh, that week. Just kidding.
all right. Are we? do we have the connection back for the?
No, we're over
the
that.
Twitter? Are we out? Oh.
Yeah, we've
no,
been over
actually,
it.
I
Let's
really
go.
I put this one on here only because I wanted to show it.
Cool.
This is from Taylor Bug 19 also, who we just had a comment from, and it's two emojis, smiley faces that are crying. And it says, "Is this Vanessa's poker face?"
That's awesome.
That's
great.
It's kind of hilarious. I don't even
No.
see it. Oh, it's
No.
too far away.
But we all know,
It's-
just like Andy said, your persona is different outside and inside the house. So just because she's a poker player doesn't mean she's crying at the poker
I know.
table.
It was just really funny, and I was laughing when I looked at it.
And to prove my
Ashley is
point,
offended.
All right, guys. Well,
so if we did an IQ test for all the house guests that ever played Big Brother, Vanessa would win.
totally.
Okay.
I
Just
totally
to
agree.
prove
It'd be
my
her and
point.
Derek up top, I think. All right, guys. We are out of time, but next week is the finale of Big Brother, and we will be here to discuss it all. So excited, so sad at the same time. Make sure you're tweeting us all week long with hashtag BB17AS, and we will see you next week.
Thursday.
On Thursday.
Thursday, not Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For more Big Brother on theStream.tv, click the link and subscribe.